And we're here with David Zhang, the presenter of Shen Yun. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, Chris.
So tell people, what does Shen Yun mean?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So it's Chinese language. The first word Shen means divine. Yun is the temperament or the inner meaning. So when combined together, Shen Yun can be translated as the beauty of divine beings dancing. Now, the actual performance really lives up to that name, and it's nothing really short of being divine. From the moment the curtain opens, the costumes, the color, the music, storytelling, everything is coming together, creating this very soothing and yet uplifting, almost spiritual experience. I think everybody should see it at least once in their lifetime.
Well, I've seen like the promotions for it. And yeah, the colors are just gorgeous. Like everything about it is just so breathtakingly beautiful. So what can
Right.
people expect from a Shen Yun performance?
Well, the show has 20 numbers, and it gives you a grand tour of China's 5,000 year civilization from the ancient China all the way to modern day. So you will hear, you will see Taoist legends and the stories from the past, and also ethnic dancing, and they're singing as well. And the one thing unique about Shenyun is has a one of kind live orchestra. So you're gonna it has both Eastern and Western instruments playing together. So you're going to hear violin, French horn, and clarinet playing side by side with zither, pipa, or an erhu, also known as the Chinese two-string violin. So, and also I have to mention about the backdrop. It's patented technology. It really brings all the stories to life. You're going to see fairy maidens, they fly in the background, they pop on the stage, turn into real dancers, and it's a kind of magic they do, and it's really, and a lot of people find it really intriguing.
Wow. Sounds like it's an amazing show. But are people going to understand the show even if they don't know like Chinese culture or understand the Chinese language?
Definitely. Well, as you know, dancing and music, they're a universal language. You don't need translation, right?
Right.
And classical Chinese dance is very expressive and it's very good at telling stories. As you can sense the feelings and emotions of the dancers through their body movements, their facial expressions. And the show is hosted by bilingual MCs. So they're going to come out and tell you between numbers and tell you about the piece you're about to see. And if that's not enough, you're going to get a copy of the program book and then tell you the background, the lyrics. So you're not going to miss a thing. I mean,
Right.
it's pretty easy to understand.
And you're right, like music and dance, it really is a universal language. So, but this is not allowed in China. Why is that?
Well, as you know, China went through a period of called the Cultural Revolution,
Mhm.
when much of the cultural heritage was almost destroyed. And Shenyun's mission is to revive that 5,000 years of civilization. And obviously couldn't do that in China today. As a matter of fact, Shenyun is based in upstate New York, not very far from the West Point Military Academy. This very disciplined artists, they have to go through years of training and they get to enjoy the artistic freedom here in the United States. And some of the artists experienced the first-hand persecution to escape the communism themselves. So one misconception people tend to have is that Shen is from China. It's actually the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a misconception I think a lot of people have. So why should people see this at least once in their lifetime?
That's a good question. Well, like I mentioned earlier, there's this thing called universal value.
Mhm.
What we perceive as good and bad, we all go through different tribulations and joys in life, the battle between good and evil. Those value, I think they transcend politics, religion, culture, and language. And that's what people find in Shenyun is this beautiful message of hope. And people are raving about it. Literally talked to thousands of people in person, from celebrities, politicians to everyday regular Joe of different walks. And some of them are joking, say this is ought to be your bucket list. And I'm an engineer by profession and
Mhm.
training. I'm not a very sentimental person, but every time I watch the show, I always have this almost like tears in my eyes. It touches you. It really
Mhm.
does. From the stories, there's some numbers you just got to experience it. It's going to be at the Paramount Theatre, and people can find more information at shenyun.com/IA. That's SHENYUN.com/IA.